Hey there, everybody. I'm here with my WrestleMania Night 2 review and ratings. And wow, this was a great show. We all know it ended off amazingly. It was just, at the end, it was emotional. We had everybody coming out. You could just tell that the WWE is headed for a great direction. Now that Triple H is in charge, it is headed for a great direction. You kind of have these new wave stars coming in. It's just a whole new wave of top guys in the WWE. Because, Roman's getting old. It seems like he might be heading out early. Seth Rollins is becoming injury prone, maybe. Of course, he's got to go get his surgery, and then we'll really see. But it seems like Seth's coming to an end. Becky Lynch is coming to an end. Charlotte's coming to an end. All these stars that have been leading the company are coming to an end, and we're just getting a new wave of amazing stars. And so it's really just getting us excited for the future. And the show itself was absolutely amazing. This could be the best WrestleMania of all time. This is probably the best WrestleMania I've seen, and I really can't think of any other one to compare to it. Of course, WrestleMania is a big show. There is just so many good WrestleManias, but this one really is at the top. It's my personal favorite. Like I was kind of saying yesterday, every show's going to have its low parts, but this one never got too low. There were no moments that was absolutely horrible. Although there were some booking decisions I personally were completely against, nothing was absolutely horrible. So yeah, this could be the best WrestleMania of all time, and this is definitely probably the best weekend of wrestling if you include NXT Stand and Deliver. That was a great show as well. So just a great weekend of wrestling, and this was a very good night of wrestling. So let's get into the first match. First up, we got a match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is between who was the champ going into this, Seth freaking Rollins, and the amazing heel of Drew McIntyre. First up, both of the entrances were very nice. The Drew McIntyre entrance included the Irish music with the bagpipers, I guess is what you call them. They were playing, and that was very nice. And then you kind of got the funny, but I guess cool entrance of Seth Rollins. I liked what he was wearing. I thought it was very nice. I liked it better than his gear in the tag match the night before. But yeah, right when I saw him come out and they were following him, they were all just playing different instruments. They all just looked very, very goofy playing the instruments. They started following. I automatically thought, here's your rosebuds. It was like an Adam Rose entrance. But I thought it was fun. It was cool. It was just very interesting. Starting off the match, Drew McIntyre hit him with a Claymore and pinned him. We were thinking maybe, could this be another one of those matches like we've seen before from Drew McIntyre where he hits a Claymore and wins it? Luckily, no, because I wanted to see more from these guys. But it did end up turning into just a finisher fest, which I personally don't really like. I'm definitely coming from these two guys because they're both extremely, extremely talented in the ring. They're both amazing workers. Although I see why they did this, because this match needed to be safe for Seth Rollins. It's time for him to go get surgery. He needed to be slow and calm down, because when he starts working fast, he's going to hurt his injury even more. You could tell he was in pain. So I just really knew that Drew McIntyre was going to get this win, so they just did a bunch of finishers, and Drew McIntyre got the win. Right there, that match would have not have gotten the best score. It maybe could have got a B-. But then he goes down to the announce table. Of course, I forgot to say, we have CM Punk on commentary, which was nice. He was putting his 2 cents in, talking junk about Drew McIntyre and everything. So he goes down there, and he's sitting there messing with CM Punk. It just forever, it felt like it was ages before CM Punk actually did something. CM Punk snapped. He started beating the crap out of Drew McIntyre. He took his entire brace off, which leads us to think maybe CM Punk will be Drew McIntyre's first feud. Maybe this recovery is faster than what we thought it would be, and he might be okay now. And so Drew McIntyre is laid out, and then here comes Senor Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, and I'm like, for the love, please do not let this be a successful cash-in, because I want Drew to have the champion. Drew deserves this champion. His champion reign when he was it was during the COVID-19 era. He had no crowd. He deserves a real championship reign. When he beat Seth, I was kind of excited. Even though I love Seth, I thought that was the correct decision because he deserves one. And then Damian comes out, and of course, like every other cash-in we've seen, the referee has said, "Are you sure you want to cash in?" "Yes, I'm sure I want to cash in. Let's get this done. Go count." "Are you sure you want to cash this in?" Like, are you positive? Are you 100% sure that you want to cash this in? That's what they say every single time. And this time, referee was on it, which I'm kind of glad because that's always kind of annoying when they sit there and ask about 10 times before they actually go count. So it kind of just spoils that they're not going to cash it in. But Damian Priest successfully cashed in. And I'm not saying this just to down Damian Priest, but the correct decision was Drew. I love Damian Priest. He's one of my favorite in-ring performers, honestly. He was one of my favorites down at NXT, and he still is. But he doesn't need this right now. He could have waited a little bit. There was no reason to spoil Drew McIntyre's World Championship moment. Any other time Damian Priest would win the title, I'd be all for it, but this was just not the time for it. But definitely adding all the action at the end boosted up the score for this match a lot. It was hanging around a C plus B minus. But when you add the Money in the Bank cash in and the CM Punk stuff, I'm gonna put it at an A minus, even though I really didn't like the decision for the cash in. Next up is the Pride, the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley versus Akam and Razor and Karrion Kross. Of course, the Final Testament. And the Pride came out with B-Fab, of course, and the Final Testament as Paul Ellering and Scarlett. So that is important to notice because B-Fab and Scarlett ended up getting involved, and they actually got very involved. They ended up going through a table with each other. But for the match itself, if you like entertaining matches, like with fun little spots and stuff, you're really gonna like this match. Because we had the surprise special guest referee of Bubba Ray Dudley. And so we knew something was gonna go down. He's gonna get involved somehow, some way. And yes, he did. Karrion Kross was mad, said that he was counting too slow. So then Karrion Kross lays a hand on him. He pushes him. So they're in each other's face. Bubba Ray Dudley pulls out some ECW glasses. His exact glasses from ECW. So now you know Bubba Ray Dudley is ready. So then it looks like he's about to attack him. Then up coming behind him comes Angelo Dawkins. They take him out. And so they get him all set up. And Bubba Ray Dudley teaches them how to do the move. The move, I don't know what it's actually called, the Dudley Boys move, where they move their tongue and and all that stuff. You got one guy holding him in the spot, and then you got the other guy up on the top rope. They did that move, and Bubba Ray Dudley walked them through it. So that was just a very fun moment. That's how it kind of ended. Montez Ford hit his finisher, and it was the end of the match. The Pride got the win. And so some people were hating on it. But if you're hating on it, you just don't want to have some fun. I thought it was good. Although it might have been a little lackluster with the hardcore things that they did. It's called a street fight. Really, it wasn't much of a street fight. But it was more just, you could have just set Extreme Rules. But it was just cool to see Bubba Ray Dudley in there. And Snoop Doggy Dogg on commentary. Snoop Dogg is very fun on commentary. But another thing I do kind of want to point out, it's no big deal. It's not going to take away from the rating. But Akam and Razor are supposed to be these big, strong guys. And when Bubba Ray Dudley was doing all of his fun stuff, it was all against Karrion Kross. So in what Bubba Ray Dudley was doing, it took a while. So Akam and Razor were just nowhere to be found. I guess they just completely got wiped because it took them a long time to get back up, I guess. But I enjoyed this match. This match was very fun. I just personally enjoyed it. A lot of people were hating on it. You can hate me. I'm giving it a B+. Next up is a match that had a very good build-up. This is LA Knight and AJ Styles. Now for this match, I thought it was going to be an average match. Honestly, LA Knight's not known for his in-ring performance, and AJ Styles is getting up there in age, although he is still an amazing talent. And it was about what I expected. I mean, it was average. There was nothing special about it. It's not going to be one that we're going to be talking about for the ages and that it's one of the best matches of all time, because it wasn't. But it had its amazing spots. LA Knight did some great moves in the match. So did AJ Styles. So I did enjoy this match a lot. This is just one of those matches that had this really, really good feud. So it was kind of hard switching from all the goofiness of Bubba Ray Dudley into this now serious feud, coming to each other's house, beating each other up, getting arrested. So yeah, this one was a lot more serious. But overall, I thought it was very good. I think these guys did a great job in the ring. I'm going to give it a B. Next up, we have a match for the United States Champion. We had the champion going into it, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens comes out and he kind of comes out normal, then he goes back, gets a golf cart. So he's pulling forward. Randy Orton's music hits, so he's coming out, and then Kevin Owens backed up and picked Randy Orton up. Randy Orton's like, alright, might as well. So they rode down together in the golf cart, and then here comes Logan Paul. He's got a little guest with him. He is coming with a walking Prime bottle. So the entire match, we're just wondering, who is that? We know they're going to get involved. Last time it was KSI. Some people on Twitter during the match was saying KSI, Logan Paul. There was a lot of, not Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Everybody was thinking it was going to be his brother Jake Paul. But I was looking at the Prime bottle. I'm like, I don't know. His arms are awful skinny to be Jake Paul. It kind of seemed like a skinnier dude. I mean, I never guessed who it was. It ended up being I Show Speed, which I thought was very interesting. I feel like definitely when it comes to the older community with wrestling, a lot of people did not know who I Show Speed is. Same with KSI, but KSI is a lot more widely known, I believe. I'm not really into all that kind of stuff. I don't know much about those guys, but yeah. It was definitely a surprise, and then he ended up just completely getting wiped out by an RKO. Which I kind of liked. I kind of enjoyed watching I Show Speed get RKO'd. But throughout the match, in the beginning, they were both kind of teaming up on Logan Paul, just kind of trying to wipe him out. And then eventually, they both just said, all right, now let's go. And they have a nice battle. All of these guys are very, very talented. Big shout out to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens can do some amazing stuff, and he's not a little guy. He has a nice swan bomb. He can just do a lot of cool stuff that a lot of other guys his size can't do. But yeah, this match was very good. It had some great extreme spots. I really enjoyed this match. I'm going to give it an A-. Logan Paul ended up taking the win on this match. Next up was a match for the WWE Women's Championship, and this was between the champion going into it, Io Sky, versus Bayley. Going into this match, I was very, very confident with my prediction. My prediction was Bayley, and spoiler alert, I was correct. Never in my mind did I think Io Sky would keep it, but I was still intrigued by the match. Sometimes when it's very guessable, you kind of get out of it, but this was not the case because I wanted to see how well these women did, and they did a great job. Io Sky, phenomenal talent. Bayley, phenomenal talent. They had a lot of great spots in this match. So yeah, I thought it was very good. There's nothing really much to talk about for this match. I'm going to give it an A-. It was nothing like, wow, that was amazing. Well, it was amazing, but it's nothing like that's going to go down the history books or anything like that. But it was great. Bayley got the win, which was absolutely amazing. I love Bayley, and it was her time to get her WrestleMania moment. That was the correct choice. Next up is for the WWE Championship. This was what a lot of people call the end game. Last year was the Infinity War, and this year is the end game. This match was just, everybody was so excited for it. I'm wondering who is going to make an appearance in this match. Who's coming out next? I was just waiting for the surprises because this is Bloodline rules. We figured that out after night one, and so we knew the Usos, Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, all these people, but then we're wondering who else. I wonder who else. And there was a lot of people that came out that we didn't expect. That was just shattering our minds. We did not think it at all. Now, even though I was very, very confident in my prediction of Cody Rhodes winning, I was still on the edge of my seat because of all these crazy surprises and how good of a match it actually was. So these guys went on for a pretty decent amount, and then he's about to go for a crossroads, and then here comes Jimmy Uso. It's time for all this craziness to start. He super kicks Cody Rhodes. He starts beating down on Cody Rhodes, and we hear, "It's just me, Uso. Day one-ish." Yes, it is Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso runs all the way down there. Of course, they had their very lackluster match yesterday, and then this turns into Jey Uso spearing Jimmy Uso off of the ramp way down onto a few tables. So that was great. And so long to the Usos. They never showed up again, which I kind of thought they would get up. But I guess that really knocked both of them out for a while. And then not too long after that, after it kind of calms down for a little bit, Solo Sikoa. It looks like Cody Rhodes is about to get this win, but we know it's not going to end because The Rock still hasn't came out. He gets him with a Samoan spike, which in the moment, my dad can back me up. I called it. I'm like, "Where's Solo? He's coming somewhere." And here he goes. Samoan spike. They do their double Samoan spike spear move. Looks like Cody's about to lose, but no, he kicks out. And about that moment, guess who's here? John Cena. The crowd was going crazy. There's been these rumors, Stone Cold, John Cena. I threw all those away. I did not think John Cena or Stone Cold were coming out. I thought it was all going to be bloodline related, like Sammy, KO, people that have relations to the bloodline and absolutely hate them, which John Cena does. He has heat with Solo Sikoa. He comes out there, wipes Solo Sikoa out, and then he hits Roman Reigns with an AA. So Cena's got them all knocked out, and guess what we hear? "What The Rock is cooking." Here comes The Rock, the final boss. He's coming down. He's got his little stylish walk, looking like a big dog. And then we get the little Peacemaker versus Black Adam moment. That came straight to my mind when they face off. And then John Cena goes for a punch onto The Rock. And a rock bottom. John Cena is knocked out. And we didn't see John Cena until the end of the match after that. And then we hear, "Dun-dun, dun-dun." Yeah, I know, I'm not that good at making theme songs up in my head. But it is The Shield. They don't show who's coming from the crowd or who's coming where. And I'm sitting here all just going crazy. John Moxley. I'm thinking it's John Moxley and Seth Rollins. But it was just Seth Rollins, no John Moxley, and Seth Rollins absolutely got just knocked out. Seth Rollins is gone. The Rock knocks him over. Seth really made no impact. And then all of a sudden, down, here comes The Undertaker. There were no spoilers that I had seen about The Undertaker, so I am absolutely going crazy when his music hits. That was amazing. Very, very unexpected. Of course, the lights turn black, and then The Rock is looking at the entrance, waiting on him, and The Undertaker is behind The Rock, the final boss, just staring at him. So then he choke slams The Rock. Then it goes black again, and there goes The Undertaker. So people are already posting saying, "This is overbooked. This is freaking amazing. What are you guys talking about? Enjoy the freaking show and stop worrying about overbooked. This is freaking fun. What are y'all talking about?" And so then left is Roman and Cody Rhodes. After all this craziness has happened, it's just the two of them. And people are saying it's overbooked, although I still I know I'm stubborn. I want more. I just want more. I wanted Dustin Rhodes to come out. Of course, he's still affiliated with the AEW, but just for the story-wise, this really would have meant a lot to me and the wrestling community. I believe a lot of people were really for this, and it just really would have added a lot to the family aspect of the story. So that I wanted. And then there were also rumors coming around that Jacob Fatu had signed with the WWE. So I think seeing Jacob Fatu would have been awesome. It would have been nice to see Sammy. But I mean, that was nothing that I actually needed to see. That was just something I thought might could happen. So, yeah, let's get back to the match. Cody and Roman are the last two in there, and he hits them with some crossroads, and there is one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. Cody Rhodes finishes his story. What an emotional moment, and a moment that we thought we would see last year, and it didn't happen. So we thought that the story was over. We thought Cody had failed his story, but no, Cody resumes his story and finishes at part 2 of him versus Roman, the end game. And so this was amazingly overbooked, but I love it. Did we have to see The Undertaker? No. Did we have to see John Cena? No. But did I sure love seeing him come out there? Yes. And so this is a huge moment for Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, he has all these people coming out to support him. You've got Seth Rollins there. You've got Mama Rhodes. Gotta have Mama Rhodes there. You've got Jey Uso. You've got CM Punk. You've got Sammy. You've got KO. You've got Randy Orton. And he grabs a mic. He says, there's 2 people that made this possible. That's not in quotes. He worded it some other way, but I don't have the entire part memorized. And he says, I know they don't want to come out here, but he says Bruce Pritchard, also known as Brother Love, and Triple H. So we see Bruce Pritchard come out, they hug it out, and of course, Cody was just hugging with everybody. Him and Randy Orton are very close, so they were... And then Jey Uso and somebody else lifted him up. Everybody's just very, very happy for Cody. He is the new big guy in the WWE. He is the future of WWE, and he's going to be on top of the WWE for a while, carrying the company on his back. And then Triple H comes out. They shake hands, and then they hug. What a great moment. You've got the new booker of the WWE just holding WWE together. And in my opinion, saving the wrestling business, making WWE great again. And so everybody's just celebrating. They're crying. Brandy Rhodes comes out there. Just Cody Rhodes' entire family is there. I mean, -1 is there. Brody Lee's son, also known as Luke Harper's son. -1 from AEW. And so, yeah, just he had his family there. Mama Rhodes got to hold the belt. So just what an amazing moment. I mean, this was so emotional. There were fans crying in the world. I know they were. Just what a great feel-good moment, something that the fans have been wanting. And so this is an A+++. Other people loved it as well. It's not just me that loved this match. There were people saying it's overbooked, but there were also people that really enjoyed it like me. This overall was just one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. Like I was saying in the beginning, this is really just showing the future of the WWE, the direction that the WWE is going now that they're changing to kind of a whole new roster. I guess you could say the NXT Black and Gold roster is now going away. All the people that started at the beginning of NXT Black and Gold are now older and they're starting to retire. You've got people like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins that have been carrying the company for the past 10 years, 10, 15 years. They have done a great job, but now it's time for new people. You've got all these legends like John Cena. He also came out there to celebrate with Cody. Just all these guys really just saying, thank you, Cody. Thank you for holding this business together for the next few years. So just amazing, emotional, amazing end to the show. It could not have ended any better. So yeah, what a great weekend of wrestling. This was the best WrestleMania.